flock down on me. We got to talk about it. Is the world or am I higher on Dallas after this loss? I mean, going up against, and I'm gonna say it here because technically they are the defending champs. I know the whole locker room doesn't want to say it, but if you won the year before, you're defending champs. Eagles edged out a 24-20 victory over the Dallas Cowboys, which some would say was a weather delay of defense. We don't really know right there. But again, in the season opener, Eagles win 24-20. And Joe, am I higher on the Dallas Cowboys after the loss? I knew it. Caw-caw, caw-caw. I heard it somewhere. Man, but I'm higher on the team because there was too many questions that I had as far as like speculation of what they're actually going to look like. Because actually coming into the season, I didn't know what our secondary was going to look like. Trayvon was coming back from injury. Of course, we drafted Siobhan Revel, but he's dealing with injury. We went and got Kaya Elam from the Bills, trying to figure out what he's going to do. Is Deron Bland going to play inside? Is he going to have to play outside? Who's going to be our corners? I didn't know what the secondary is going to look like. We got new linebackers. We got Kenneth Murray, and then we also got Jason Sam. I mean, we got Sanborn. I might have messed up his first name, but we got Sanborn. Then Overshown's hurt. Is Damone Clark going to play the same? Are we going to be able to actually stop the run? Because Eberflus is here and he schemes up to stop the run. Is Micah going to sign his contract? Like, it was so many questions before this week. And then last week, one guy gets traded. We get a defensive tackle in, and then boom. What better way to see if we could stop the run than go up against one of the best rushing teams in the National Football League? And I'm not just taking shots at their quarterback, Jack Sanborn. Thank you, Cardo. Jack. But I was thinking about Jason Statham. But anyway, not taking shots at their quarterback, but you see what Hurts can do. Once he gets scrambled out that pocket, he can make plays. And you also know what Saquon is capable of. But last night, I don't think Saquon was capable of too much. What do you got, like 60 yards? But we're not going to say too much for a team that can't stop the run. And, of course, again, Eagle fans, you can get off where you want to get off. But if you ask me to end my opening monologue, am I higher on the Cowboys? I'm way higher on them than I was 3 weeks ago, Joe. How about you?
So, if I'm a Cowboy fan, well, let me say this. Me personally, I am not higher only because it's week one. It's week one, and I actually picked y'all to win this game. And we got to see how these teams look throughout the year. Like, how good is this defense? How will Philly really look down in the rest of the year? And then they didn't have Jalen Carter. It's a lot of things that happen. But what I will say is this, though. The Cowboys played a really good game against the defending Super Bowl champions, a team where everybody thought y'all was going to get mollywopped. They thought y'all was going to get mopped with the floor. They're going to take y'all and mop the floor with it. So how y'all came out, y'all look like the more prepared team. And let me say this. The Eagles, listen, I respect the mindset y'all trying to have, which is this is last year. We ain't focused on this. We only focus on this year. Sirianni lying to the media talking about I ain't know it's Banner Night, bro. You could have just said it's Banner Night, but it's for the fans. We focus on the game, so we won't be there. That's all you got to say. But after how y'all came out with Jalen Carter spitting on Dak Prescott, we're gonna get to that. With the 9 penalties your defense had, the undisciplined football y'all played the whole game, you might as well watch the Banner trial. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. But we're not talking about it right now. That's why y'all. Here's some good things about y'all. People say, oh, the run defense. And I know that Jerry Jones, when he traded Michael Parsons, he came out and said, we got better in the run. And all people was like, oh, Micah, which I still understand. It's a crazy trade. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, it's a crazy trade. But, Tomo, y'all held Saquon Barkley to 3.3 yards per carry. That's the lowest per carry he had since the Cleveland game last year. That's a long time ago. So y'all did the best job on him since then, right? So that's that. Kenny Clark. So Kenny Clark, he had 5 tackles, right? 4 of his 5 tackles was against the run when they were running the ball, right? With Saquon or one of the running backs. And here's it is. When he's on the floor or he's on the field, 2.8 rushing yards allowed per carry when he was on the field. When he wasn't on the field, Tomo, 6.6 rushing yards per carry. So it sounds like he made a difference last night. You know what I mean? So I want to commend y'all that. I also want to give y'all props on how y'all defensive game plan. The shell defense, how y'all say, you know what, we're not gonna let Devontae and AJ Brown beat us one on one. We're gonna put some safety help on top of that, and we're gonna Trayvon Diggs had a good game with that, and Deron Bland. I gotta give y'all props. Y'all basically canceled Devontae Smith and AJ Brown out the game. You
Especially
know,
AJ.
so huh?
Especially AJ. Go ahead.
Especially AJ. Y'all canceled him out the game, and y'all forced Jalen Hurts to make good decisions, to dink and dunk. And to his credit, he did, and he used his legs. People say about the spy thing, and I was saying it too. But now I'm thinking about the type of defense y'all was running. It would be hard to do that because that's an extra defender that's going to be accounting for Hurts versus y'all game plan y'all had. What needed to happen the rushers needed to be more patient, basically. Dante Fowler. I mean, so plenty of times you could have got Hurts, bro, but you got to be more patient, bro. All right. So I like what I saw in offensively, bro. I feel like y'all were moving with ease. Y'all were moving the ball with ease. Dak played well. We're gonna get to Dak Prescott. So if you were low on the Cowboys and you feel like this game carried a lot, you should feel high on the Cowboys. But like I said, coming to this game, as AJ, I actually picked Dallas to win this game because I always felt like Dak is not scared of the Eagles. So that's my take on that.
So it's funny because if you go back to the panel and when we did all the panels, the Cowboys panel, the NFC East panel, I said we're gonna lose this game by 3. Like
Mm-hmm.
I always considered that we would lose this game by a field goal. 60% of it was because Dak. I'm like, bro, at the end of the day, if Dak show up, which he does against the NFC East, like I said in the chat, so I was like, if this Dak can show up in the playoffs, we might be in a championship game because when you see anybody in the NFC East, he like, bro, I know what I can do. I could throw 4 picks and we'll probably still find a way to win this game. Now, when that green and yellow show up, and you know that other burgundy, that wine, red and gold, whatever they want to call themselves out there, when that show up, we get a different Dak. But when you talking about green, burgundy, blue, it's like, man, look, I know what I can do against them. 6 times a year, I'm gonna show up. Game might not go the way it's expected all the time, unless it's the Giants, because that's a booking for a dub. Maybe not. No, that's a booking for a dub. Sorry, Giants fans. But and of course I told you personal reasons for the Commanders. But outside of that, Joe, NFC East he gonna show up. That's why I said we can win it by 3. The other 40% was all the questions I had as far as what the defense was going to look like. How was my new head coach going to actually call a game? Are these another false equivalences or false promises that we going to get where they going to say, hey, we're going to try to run the ball and actually throw the ball 60 times? Or will the Eagles even let you throw the ball and you're going to try to get stuff with the run game? It was so many questions there. Also, play calling and clock management. Like you seen it with the Cowboys this what going into the half. Remember that last play? Everybody, what's the first thing they said about the jokes? Are they gonna be able to clock it? Here you go. We've seen this happen before. Clocked it
Mm-hmm.
perfectly. Got the field goal and got off. Because the first thing I said was, if the ref don't touch this ball and Dak messed this up, they're gonna be like, I told you. They still got them problems. So again, the first half of that game, I like the way my coach called it. I got a little bit more faith in my head coach now because again, he can call the game and still manage the clock the way that he did. Of course, bonehead stuff gonna happen throughout the game. They're gonna find ways to get Pickens involved, but again, I'm with you, Joe. If you're a Cowboy fan and you were super low on this team, you can come a few floors up now. Granted, it's just one game, but you got the Giants next week. This is the early part of the schedule, so things can get better before we move over into November, where you got to play tougher teams and to punch back on the team that's known for beating good teams, and you held them. And like you said, their best receivers to under 100 yards, their best rusher to under 100 yards. I think Jalen Hurts had about 60 yards on the field, running. So
Yeah.
you talking about without that, they technically only get just above 100 yards rushing total out the game. That says a lot. And that's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
improvement. And you're not going to face teams with this great offensive line every week. So you got room to improve. We definitely need help at linebacker though. But yeah, I'm with you, Joe.
Yeah, man. And I know you mentioned Zadarius Smith, and he went to go sign with the Eagles. That's crazy. But
That's why I didn't want to say it in the chat. I knew it. The chats is tapped, man. They
yeah,
tapped.
you said something last night, and then today that's crazy. I do want to say I agree with you that y'all coach did a good job, had a great game plan. I like Eberflus also early on. Y'all could not get pressure, and he started throwing some exotic blitzes in the second half. Started doing corner blitzes and stuff like that. So y'all did well. Here's the only problem is you want to feel encouraged about the game, but then at the same time you're like, dang, the Eagles did what good teams do, and the Cowboys did what non-good teams do. CeeDee Lamb drops. That's like bad teams do that. Like the Panthers dropping passes for the touchdown. You know what I mean? Like bad teams find a way to lose. Not saying y'all a bad team. I'm saying like I'll walk away like, yeah, man, we did look good, but we gotta make these winning plays. Like CeeDee Lamb gotta catch that ball. Miles
Yeah.
Sanders can't fumble right there. And
Yep.
now people say that the Cowboys beat themselves. I think that's true when it comes to CeeDee Lamb. But when Miles Sanders, Zach Bond gets credit for that. First of
That
all,
was a hell of a play.
he almost took it when he hawked that man down. He almost fumbled right there.
Yep.
So he walked the running back, and then on the very next play he fumbles, and it was like it slipped out of his hand, like Hurst did in the Super Bowl. It was like a forced fumble. So I gotta give the Eagles credit for that. For that. So the Eagles made winning plays when it mattered. Like they had the key moments, and the Cowboys like, dang. But one thing I can't say, it wasn't your quarterback fault at all.
That's what I'm saying. See, this is the game right here. This is the game. This is the moments you want. Where you like, man, he played his heart out and they sold.
It's crazy.
That's kind of what you want. You want that in the playoffs because other than that, I mean, it's gonna be what it's gonna be, right?
It's
And one
probably
more
the
thing.
best. It's probably the best that game I've seen from him against a good team. If you want to count the Seahawks, this
Uh,
Seahawks game.
I would say go back and watch that Tampa Bay game too.
Which one?
Not the playoffs, the
No,
opening
Seahawks.
season one.
Seahawks is 2 years ago.
No,
He
not
was
the
out.
Seahawks. No, I'm talking about the Tampa Bay opening when they dropped the banner.
That was before that. That was before that Seahawks game though.
Yeah, that was way
I know
before.
you talking about. He cooked that game. I know.
Yeah,
I remember.
yeah.
And he got hurt that game too, right? Oh no,
He hurt his
that was
thumb
another one.
when he. Nah, that was it. That was the game. He hurt his thumb. He hit it on somebody's helmet because that was
Nah,
the
bro.
season. That was the season
Y'all
he
played.
led the league. What's the name in picks?
Okay, that's what happened. Okay, yeah, but I remember him and Tom Brady was going at it.
Yeah, that was that game. They was. I'm telling you, man. Something about when you want to drop the banner and Dak show up, and that was him coming off the injury. That was the ankle
Nah,
injury.
bro. 2020, 2021, when that's when Dak was cooking. And then the next year, that's when he hurt his thumb. Cause I remember when he hurt his thumb, the score was like 14-6. And
Let me
Parsons had
see.
2 sacks on Brady early, remember? It was
Yeah,
like 14-6. But the first
we
game,
don't say that name though. Just say 11.
it left.
Just
You gotta
11.
say something though? Before
Oh no, I was
you
gonna say one thing too. Before we move on, because I know we gotta give the letter grades for the quarterbacks. Uh, Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, also the trainers. I think y'all owe Trayvon Diggs an apology. Y'all came out and said he wasn't working out with the team. Y'all came out and said y'all need him here. Y'all docked him for his money, and he made it ahead of schedule. Like y'all said, he wasn't supposed to play week one. Played week one. Played his heart out. Still can't tackle, but played his heart out. I'm never
oh
saying.
my
I'm all I'm gonna say is look, Trayvon. I mean, it was a good move, Flus, because nobody would expect Trayvon to come in for a blitz, so that was a
wait,
good call. But bruh,
come on, man. You right past her.
and then 2 plays later, Deron Bland just got his money. Same thing, opposite side. I'm like, bro, they can't do not blitz. Just have them jump or something. Just don't tackle because that was
And
bad.
it's not like hers is like this, like they
He
just
just
straight
like
up.
shoved them off, like man, get out of here. But other than that, they
That's
owe
funny.
an apology for that one, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Trayvon. When he was working out with Bland before the game, I was like, oh, he look healthy. I was like, he look good.
I said, did y'all see him cut? He
I,
gonna play.
I was like,
Like,
you know, like he ain't paying at all.
I said, AJ, I hope you read that book. It's gonna be a long day. I know what it is when he out there.